Okay, Ahmed, you can see. Can you see?
Yeah, yeah. I saw the question already. What do I think about the new chief of staff? Well, the only thing I know about the new chief of staff is that he's got an impressive record. I remember, I think when I read his profile, he's been a lecturer in university. He has served under the United Nations. He also served in government at different capacities at different times. He is 75 years old, and that is the person that President Buhari has decided to work with as his chief of staff. What I would like to say is, I wish the man all the best. I pray God helps him, direct him to be able to manage the affairs of that office in a way that he will be able to deliver good democracy to Nigerians and help his boss, talking about President Buhari, in a way that he will become a better president and better at delivering his responsibilities as the president of the country. If anybody has got anything negative to say about the guy, I'll be surprised, because we cannot find anything that he has done that's bad. And again, the only thing that I would have held and said, I probably would want something different is, I probably would have wanted a younger person. I probably would have wanted a 50-year-old guy, so that he can complement the president with some energy. The president is going to be, the president is 77 years old now.
Yeah.
You know, if the president was able to get somebody in his 50s, vibrant, active, highly detribalized,
Mhm.
somebody that has got friends from the south, the east, the west, the north. You see him, is a fly guy. Everybody likes him.
Yes.
He knows how to manage people. He knows how to see beyond what the now and say, okay, fine, we could try this, Mr. President. I believe it's going to give us positivity in future.
Exactly.
I would have been really excited.
Exactly.
However, I'm not President Buhari. He probably will be. He probably is able to work with somebody of that age easier than someone younger. So by all means, what I think we can do right now is to support him towards the successful uh, remaining days of his administration, which is where I think that our thought process should be. It's important also that for us most of us living in diaspora, we must see positivity. We must try to see positivity. The moment you see negativity, it does not just affect your country's ability to prosper, it also affects how people in that diaspora see you. So if you go to Canada, for example, and you say, they say, how is Nigeria? Nigeria is bad. Nigeria, Meanwhile, you were already introduced to them as the queen of the Edo Kingdom, for example. Meet Nepe, the queen of the Edo Kingdom, and then Nepe comes in. Thank you very much. So Nepe, tell us about Nigeria. Nigeria is bad. That is why I came to Canada. If they were respecting you before, they will just stop respecting you immediately.
Yes, it's truth.
So
Yes.
we must sell ourselves right. We
Yeah.
must believe that we can succeed. We must pick up our success stories and put them in front. And when somebody
Exactly.
brings our bad stories, we tell them that it's not just peculiar to Nigeria. There are bad people all over the world. This is how I want us to be looking at these things. So that's my position really on that.
That is why in the West, when you say you are from Africa, the first thing that comes to mind is the negativity in Africa. You understand?
Because we are the ones that sell that negativity more than anyone else. We
Yes,
must stop it. We must stop it.
we must
We
stop
must.
it. We must stop it. That is truth. That is what I've been doing.
There's a comment here from your friend Roland. Why is everything in Nigeria working upside down? How does this look at where I'm living? Am I upside down? I'm in Nigeria. I'm in Abuja. I'm not living upside down.
You
I
can,
go to work every morning. I work my ass out to get myself bread on the table.
but Ahmed, honestly, to be honest, the country is not functioning properly. It's not functioning. You are a privileged.
Tell me,
You are very privileged in Nigeria. You
please,
can compare
please,
yourself with
please,
others.
Nepe, choose your viewpoint very carefully. I, Ahmed Buhari, I lost my father when I was just 13 years old. My mom was not fully educated, so she couldn't even get a job.
Oh,
Yes, I was not living in any city. I was living in a small town called Pontagora in Niger State. It was like a village about 40 years ago. That
wow.
was where I was born. That was where I grew up. My dad died in a road accident. And then we were left like that. But one thing that I refused to let go was the fact that I was going to be successful. I was going to make it. Nothing was going to stop me. I did not see people's children who were living large as a reason for me to feel bad. No. I saw them, I congratulated them, and I tried to learn from whatever it was they were doing. Do you think that if I was really a privileged kid, that when I came out to contest, you wouldn't have seen big men supporting my campaign because I'm one of their sons?
Yeah.
They would have pushed me forward. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of them kept saying, who is his father?
Yeah.
Where is he from? Who is he? I want us to understand something.
No.
I want us to understand something.
Hold on.
I want us to understand. Yes.
Hold on, Ahmed. I'm very inspired with your story. Can you elaborate on how you succeeded? You know, you lost your dad when you were only 13 years old, your mom, and tell us how you succeeded. It's very inspiring. I'm so inspired right now.
In all honesty, my dad, from his story, my dad started his career as a business administration student, so to speak. So according to him, when he went to grade level 2 or so, because he didn't go to a university, when he finished his grade level 2, he got some sort of qualification that said he had studied as a business administrator, and he was looking to work in an office as a receptionist or anything that was going to keep his office work going. But he couldn't get a job, because then all you needed in Nigeria was somebody who was already working in an office that would sign your reference form and say, I know him. He can be trusted. So my dad said the only person in their family that was working in an office, in a government office, was one of his uncles that was living in Lagos. So he traveled all the way to Lagos to meet this uncle. And when he met this uncle, he said, Uncle, I finished my grade level 2. I would really appreciate if you could sign this form for me as a referee so that I can get a job. He said where he dropped that paper for his uncle, where his uncle dropped that paper, that was where the paper was for 1 year, 4 months, until he decided to leave his uncle. Now, every day as he cleaned the house, because he became a houseboy, pending when he was going to get that form signed. Every day as he cleaned the house, he will make sure that he positioned that paper back to that place, so that the next person that comes in, so that the next time the uncle comes in, he will see the paper. But he didn't sign it. And the wife started using him as a houseboy. He said the worst experience he had in that family, in that house, was when kerosene in the store where the food were kept spilled into the yam flour, olubo, abi? Is that what you call olubo? Amala.
Amala.
The flour for amala. He said kerosene spilled into it, and the woman was so upset, and she said he was going to eat all of it. Guess what? He said it was a whole bag of olubo. And he was made to eat that thing through the year he spent in that house waiting to get that paper signed.
That's toxic.
Of course, it was his choice. Either you eat or you go hungry. He didn't have any money. After waiting that long, about 18 months, he decided to leave his uncle's house and decided to enroll in the Nigerian army as a recruit. So he started his career in the Nigerian army as a recruit. He was there as a recruit, and he started, he grew up to the rank of a second lieutenant, just wahala kind of life, basically. And that was where he saw my mom in Kano. And my mom was in Form 4 or so. She was about going to her final year. But her parents were so excited that somebody had come that wanted to marry her. And they said to him, do you agree that you will marry this woman and let her go to school? Oh, yes. But when they got married, they moved to Kwantagora. Boom, baby 1. Boom, baby 2, baby 3, baby 4, baby 5. So in reality, my mom got married at the age of 17. She was 17. She was 16, sorry. And then she had me when she was 17. So when you see my mom and myself, we're like brother and sister.
Oh.
Before she was 32, she had 6 children. So the discussion of school was something that we were just hearing in the background. It
Yes.
was audio school.
Yeah. And at that time, a female education was not very popular.
It wasn't a priority.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't a priority. And because life was a bit easier, most of the men could make ends meet without necessarily getting support from their wives.
Yes.
So my mom was raising the children. She was raising us good. And, we were 6 of us then, and she was just 32. And that was when my dad had an accident and died.
Oh, 6 children alone for your mom. Oh my God.
And I was the first. I was just in the SS1. I was my first year in secondary school. Now, I want you to begin to imagine how she must have managed to raise all 6 of us.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we had to go to school. We had to eat food. We had to have clothing. The house we were staying was a rented apartment. So when you see people, do not be so quick to say privileged young kid or privileged northern Nigerian kid. It is not the issue. Every single person has a responsibility to believe in themselves and build themselves. That is the problem. That is why some of us will sit down and make comparison with other people like Dangote's children and expect ourselves to be those children. Everybody's hustle is different. You just need to put your act together. That is the truth. How we manage to go through school, wake up every day, eat food, I can't even remember.
Oh my God.
It was so much pain that you are praying to forget. It was so much pain that you would see your mom hungry and pretending that she's full just because she wanted to eat what she had provided. I remember a year, a very, very ugly year, that throughout that year, I think somebody donated to our family a bag of rice. And that was how we managed that bag of rice and ate it every day throughout the year. And the only thing that we could complement the rice with was onions, dry pepper, and granite oil.
Yeah.
We would fry it so that it would become the sauce. And everybody had to, accept that it was delicious, because that was the only way you could have your sanity. This is how we pulled through. Today, she is a proud mother of 6 graduates. Some of us have got our master's degrees. Some of us are chasing our doctorate degrees. Some of us are working with some international organizations. Some of us, like me here, I'm doing what I'm doing in my own little way of advocacy. I've got a sister that's a lecturer. I've got another sister that works with the government. I've got a brother that's a businessman. This is exactly what you must believe. You must succeed. And to even top up all of this, she has 6 children. She has about 17 grandchildren, and she's a happy woman today. If these are the things that make her happy, I think God has been kind to her to make her see these things happen.
Exactly.
But at no point did we relax and say, because our father has died, because all the odds are against us, we are not going to, stick our head up and ensure that we succeed in life.
Look, Ahmed Buhari, I don't want to interrupt you. To be honest, only few families will succeed in this type of situation that you just depicted. Few families, because in most cases, children from such family will end up in the streets, will end up with deviant behavior in the society. You guys should just consider yourselves as the lucky ones, extremely lucky ones. I know that it was also a kind of a determination for you to get education, you and your siblings, but I will guarantee you that few families will succeed in this type of situation in Nigeria. So go ahead, tell us more. It's very interesting and inspiring.